leisure, leisure, leisure.
It's time you have to do things you enjoy without having to work or worry about anything else. Here is a sample sentence. After finishing her work project, she spent the rest of the day at leisure, reading a book by the pool.
Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen.
To make something longer, either physically or in time. Here is a sample sentence. The gardener decided to lengthen the garden hose by adding an extra 10 feet of tubing.
Leopard, leopard, leopard.
This animal is a type of big cat with spots, usually yellow or golden in color. It has a slender body and long tail. Here is a sample sentence. The big cat with distinctive spots and a golden coat was a leopard, known for its agility and stealth in the jungle.
Lever, lever, lever.
A long, thin piece that helps turn or move something by applying force to one end. Here's a sample sentence. The carpenter used a lever to pry open the stuck door. This sentence demonstrates how the word lever can be used in context, as a tool used to apply force or pressure to an object.
Levy, levy, levy.
It's a charge or payment that someone is forced to make, often as a penalty or tax. Here is a sample sentence. The city council decided to levy a new tax on residents to fund the construction of a new community center. In this example, levy means to impose or collect a tax.
Liability, liability, liability.
It's something that can cause problems or costs if it happens or is present. Here is a sample sentence. The company's decision to hire an inexperienced driver was a liability that ultimately led to a costly lawsuit. In this example, liability refers to something or someone that could potentially cause harm or financial loss to another party.
Liable, liable, liable.
This word means responsible for something that might happen or has already happened because of what you did or didn't do. Here is a sample sentence. The company was liable for any damages caused by their faulty product. In this example, liable means responsible or accountable for something.
Liberal, liberal, liberal.
This term refers to someone who believes in giving people freedom and choices, and thinks that everyone should be treated equally and fairly, regardless of their background or circumstances. They tend to support individual rights and freedoms over strict rules and traditions. Here is a sample sentence. The politicians' liberal policies on education and healthcare were popular among voters. In this example, liberal refers to someone who supports progressive or left-leaning ideas, particularly in terms of social justice and government intervention.
Liberate, liberate, liberate.
This means to set someone or something free from being controlled, restricted, or held back. Here is a sample sentence. The protesters marched through the streets, demanding that their country be liberated from the oppressive regime. In this example, liberated means to free or release something, in this case, a country, from control or oppression.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
It's the freedom to make choices and live life as you want, without being controlled or told what to do by others. Here is a sample sentence. The protesters marched through the streets, demanding freedom and liberty from the oppressive government. This sentence uses liberty to convey the idea of freedom from oppression or tyranny.
License, license, license.
It's permission to do something that you wouldn't normally be allowed to do, given by someone who has the right to give it. Here is a sample sentence. The driver was pulled over by the police and asked to show her license. This sentence demonstrates how the word license can be used in context, referring to an official document that grants permission or authority to do something, in this case, drive a vehicle.
Lick, lick, lick.
It's an action where you move your tongue to touch or taste something, usually with a soft and quick motion. Here is a sample sentence. She gave her dog a gentle lick on the head to show affection.
Lift, lift, lift.
It's something that helps you go up or move something up to a higher place, often with less effort than if you were doing it by yourself. Here is a sample sentence. The elevator will lift you up to the 10th floor in just 30 seconds.
Light, light, light.
It's what makes things visible, especially when they're not shining or glowing. It's also what comes from the sun and helps us see. Here is a sample sentence. The warm sunlight streaming through the window filled the room with a gentle light.
Likelihood, likelihood, likelihood.
This word refers to how probable or expected something is to happen. It's about how likely you think an event will occur based on what you know. Here's a sample sentence. The weather forecast suggested a high likelihood that it would rain tomorrow, so I decided to bring an umbrella with me. In this sentence, likelihood refers to the probability or chance that something will happen, in this case, raining.
Likewise, likewise, likewise.
This word means something is also true or happens in the same way as what was just mentioned. Here is a sample sentence using the word likewise. I'm planning to go to the beach tomorrow, and likewise, my sister has decided to join me. In this example, likewise means in the same way, or also, indicating that the speaker's sister is doing something similar, going to the beach, as they are.
Limb, limb, limb.
It's a part of the body that you can move around with, like an arm or a leg. Here is a sample sentence. After the accident, she was left with a severely injured limb that required immediate medical attention.
Limestone, limestone, limestone.
This type of rock is made from tiny pieces of shells and other things that have been squished together over time, often with some water mixed in. It's a pretty common kind of rock that can be found in many places around the world. Here is a sample sentence. The ancient ruins were carved out of limestone, with intricate carvings and inscriptions visible on its weathered surface.
Limousine, limousine, limousine.
A type of car that is long, luxurious, and often used to transport important people or groups. It's usually driven by someone else, so you can just sit back and relax. Here is a sample sentence. The wealthy businessman arrived at the party in style, stepping out of his sleek black limousine and onto the red carpet.
Limp, limp, limp.
This word means to walk or move with an uneven, unsteady gait, often due to injury or weakness. Here is a sample sentence. After twisting her ankle, Sarah had to walk with a limp for several days.